In the last video, I had a look at the history of Ionic. If you have used Ionic 2 or 3, this video is for you. If you haven't, you can simply skip it. I want to dive into the important differences between Ionic 3 and Ionic 4 and what changed. Now, first of all, if you need to update an existing project to Ionic 4, there is a migration guide on the official page, on the official webpage of Ionic. On ionicframework.com, you can go to Guide here in the docs, and you will find a migration guide here. And that gives you a detailed overview of what changed from Ionic 3 to Ionic 4 and how you need to adjust your project to, update it. So that is the detailed guide. I want to give you the rough overview of what changed. So an Ionic 3 project used the Ionic CLI to generate such a project. We then used Cordova to also get a mobile app out of that. And Ionic 2 and 3 actually were mostly focused on getting these mobile apps. With Ionic 3, you could also build progressive web apps, that was possible, but the focus really was on this mobile app with web technologies thing. With Ionic 4, that's changing. We still have the Ionic CLI, but we can actually also include Ionic 4 through a CDN or through NPM. So we don't even need a CLI or any complex build workflow to use Ionic 4, which makes sense because it doesn't rely on a framework. And actually, in the first real section of this course, after the Angular refresher, I will show you how to include Ionic without any CLI before we then use it again, because we're also building an Angular app, which needs one. So that's a first subtle but important difference. We can just use the Ionic CLI. We then in the end have a normal web project, and an Ionic project in Ionic 3 and 2 also was a web project, but it was highly geared towards getting out such a mobile app, such an Ionic-driven app. Now here we have a normal web app project that also can spit out a real mobile app, but doesn't have to. Because under the hood, like the Ionic CLI for Angular, we use just the Angular CLI, and similar things are offered for React and Vue. So we don't really have anything too different to a normal web app built with Angular or React. It's just a web app plus, so to say, with some extra features. And therefore what we get out could be a normal web app. But we can also use Cordova or Capacitor, both supported now. Capacitor is this new tool offered by the Ionic team to get a mobile app. And in this course, I will use Capacitor. So in the end, we got more flexibility. That's the general theme of Ionic 4. More flexibility and yet more stability and speed as well. This is the big picture. Again, for the detailed upgrade on what technically changed, have a look at the official docs I showed you.